welcome my beautiful ladies. It's Peaceful Paradise 7. Today I want to talk about dating rules that will lead to marriage. I completely understand that not everybody wants to get a ring and not everybody wants to, go through that beautiful marriage situation and have the wedding and have the white dress, but I feel like this channel, it's about my values as well and how I want to go through life. Videos will give you some tips that I implemented in my life and that lead me to find my love very, very quickly. And I also talked to some of my friends that they do use those rules too, and two of them already got engaged, so I'm pretty sure that the tips that I'm saying are working. Okay, so I would say the first rule is intention over attention. I understand it's absolutely great when you have all the men that want to take you out, they show a lot of attention towards you and you feel like you're a queen, you feel like this is great for me. I also know that sometimes it's all very fake, and it's like with the singers, when the lights are on, then they performing, it's great, they hype everything, and then everybody leaves and they on their own. Our intention, how we want to lead the relationship, because we women also lead in a way, okay? We lead ourselves. It's not like we necessarily have to grab the guy and say, come with me, I will take you to my house. We still need to be very intentional. My intentions were always that I want to find somebody that I truly like, somebody that I will feel very comfortable with, somebody that I can trust, someone that will protect me, and someone that will provide for me. And of course we all have like very long list about what we want, but there are some certain things that are the most important ones. So if he wouldn't be, for example, that handsome, I can live with that, because to me, I wouldn't like to have somebody who is so super attractive, because I would be worried that he will just disappear next day. I don't know why. When I see men that are over attractive, I always believe that they spend a lot of time in the bathroom, they always want to look pretty, and it's like, it's my job. It's my job to look pretty, not yours. So there are certain things that you need to pay attention to, okay? When I see men who are pretty, I'm not talking about just like handsome guys, like handsome men. I'm just talking about the pretty boys. They have a lot of attention these days, and I just feel like, why do you want to have another woman in the house? Are you looking for a man or are you looking for a woman? Decide. Don't confuse texting, emails, messaging, constant attention. Don't confuse it with real affection, with real interest. I wouldn't say love, because at the beginning it's not love, but you need to see the true intention behind his action as well. You need to know yourself, your intentions, and you need to see what his intentions are. And a lot of the times how you can check is when you actually need help. When you need help, because, well, usually it's just part of your life, right? You just need help with something. I wouldn't really orchestrate fake situations just to see, but if your life is pretty easy, then maybe you can create a situation when he can actually help you with something, and see if he's gonna be there when you need him. Or is he only there for fun? Is he only there to have a great time? And when it comes to helping struggle and difficult situation, he's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. My second thing on the list is that usually we are very afraid to ask important questions, and I always say that if you won't ask, you will not know. I see the situation when women don't ask and later on they've been bite in the butt because they didn't ask. And it's super important to ask the right questions, okay? Of course, you can ask things like, what are your hobbies, what you enjoy doing, how your day looks like, because you want to know, right? That's very interesting. But also ask him what sort of relationship he wants. What's there for him? What is he looking for? This is a very basic question. And of course, people can be like, oh, I'm looking for great things, I'm looking for marriage, I'm ready for the relationship. They can say one thing, and the truly speaking, you need to see the actions. But you need to start somewhere. And if you don't ask any question, then you won't know. The great tip that I can give you is ask one question very early on when you meet, and later on down the line, remember the answer, and later on down the line, ask him exactly the same question and see if the information that he gives you is gonna match. A lot of the times I've noticed that men, the ones that are confused, or the ones that just purely lie, they will have completely different answer later on. The next thing is that a man who wants you, he will be very clear about it. You wouldn't feel confused when he is next to you, when you are together, when he's taking you out, when he's messaging you. You should not feel confused. If he's a game boy, if he plays with you, if he's trying to string you along, like, that's how you should know that he's not the right man for you. And asking him, convincing him, looking for different ways, asking your girlfriends what you think, or maybe he's tired, maybe he's like, that doesn't matter. If you feel confused, that means something is off. And I would just say bye. And I would rather not be with somebody who is confused, because if you truly know what you want, then why you should be with somebody who is stringing you along? And also, this is why I truly believe in making a love list, because that love list, you're gonna make it once, you can always assess it and change it later on, but it's gonna make you feel grounded. It's gonna always take you to where you began and what good things he's representing from your love list. And if he's so not matching to it, you're gonna say something like, I want a man to be honest, I want him to be sure about me, I want to be sure about him, then you know that if something is off and you truly feel confused, this is not what you put on your love list, and you can just move on without feeling very guilty and very confused. I created like a special ebook for you. It's very short, very sweet, for everybody who didn't make a love list in 2025. Please do. It's free to download. You don't even have to give much of the informations. I'm not gonna send you hundreds of emails or anything like that, but I want you to know that it's there for you. Download your love list, make it very clear, think about it, sleep with it, put as many points as you want, but you will know which ones are very important, like the deal breakers, and which ones are just nice to have. They are like adds on. Masculine men, they pursue, they lead, they chase, and they will not make you feel confused. So there is no chasing from your part, not reminding him, not putting him straight, not being his psychologist. Like, you just know that he know what he wants. If he's confused, he's not your future husband. Rule number 4, I think it's number 4, I stopped counting as usual. You need to lead with your feminine power. I think this is very overused those days. What I mean by feminine power, I'm not talking about the fact that you wear a dress. I'm not talking about the fact that you need to have soft voice. If you want, you can. Femininity is being confused with childness. So when people say you need to have very soft voice, you need to have low voice, you need to agree with what he say, like, you know, you need to look pretty, you need to wear pretty dresses. This is a bit more too childish. If you don't have that male power inside you, you can't lead yourself, girl. And that's the problem, that we've been taught that feminine is good, and of course it is, and I get why, you know, why there are so many videos about it, but also there's something good about the male energy. This is that sexiness, when you can say no, when you have the boundaries, when you know where you want to go or what you want to do. So when he's asking you what movie you want to watch, for example, I hate horror movies. And I think over the years, it was only very recently when I asked for a horror movie and it was really good, and my husband chose it for us and it was absolutely great. But most of the times I would say, I don't like horror movies, sorry. When you just say, oh, you know, you choose, you pick any movie you like, I don't mind, and then he will pick a movie that you don't like, you can only blame yourself, because you didn't tell him. I remember one time somebody asked me out for a movie, and to be honest, I just feel like the cinemas are not the greatest. They are not the greatest place to meet somebody, and especially not for first or second or third date, because majority of the times you just watch something and it's very dark. He has too much access to you, that's what I would say. So I will leave any sort of, you know, going out to the cinema for later time. But apart from this, just know what you want, and that's a bit more like male energy rather than feminine energy. You need to be very precise and you need to lead. yourself. Number 5 is be unavailable for half love. If he's offering you something that you wouldn't want to have, don't accept it just because you feel it's necessary to accept it, okay? Just because you feel like you've been lonely or you've been single for like a long time, that really doesn't mean that you should accept him as he is. If he's giving you half love, it's not for you. And if you're still struggling with this, even with the love list or anything similar, like you can use any tools you want, I think God is absolutely the great power that you have behind you. And I said I don't want to focus on God too much because I understand that we don't, not everybody can be religious, but I truly want to say that if you believe in God and you know that he wants the best for you, he will guide you. You will have your angels, we can call it intuition, we can call it the gut feelings. And please listen to this, because this is the greatest teacher that is ever there. If you ask your friend what she thinks about him, if you ask your mom what she thinks about him, of course they can be great people to help you out, but nobody, and I say nobody, will help you as much as God. Just sit with yourself for 5-10 minutes, ask the question, and let the God to answer you. Sometimes it's in very small symbols. The God doesn't speak to everybody, but sometimes he gives you tips and clues. Sometimes it's a song in the radio, sometimes it's a bird, sometimes it's a helicopter. Like whatever you ask him to give you the sign. And for example, say that if you truly believe that the best thing for me would be to do A, then show me that. And wait. Sometimes you can wait for a few weeks, and when you see that symbol and it's not a very obvious symbol, then this is the best option for you, because believe that you have somebody greater behind you than any of us. Of course, everything can change in time, and sometimes people are great at the beginning, they have the mask, we all have masks, and we try to show our best selves. So that will change. I guarantee that the relationship that you have when you date and relationship that you have later on down the line, it's gonna progress, it's gonna change. There's gonna be so many horrible situations that you probably don't want to know now. So I would say really enjoy the process of dating, because when people feel like this is the hardest part, and then once you get the guy, you're good to go, you're happy, like that's it. Like, no, I would say the majority amount of work comes after marriage. After you get married, this is when the true self inner work starts. And if you don't do it, then you're screwed most of the times. And that's why a lot of people talks about purpose, and a lot of people talks about intention. You need to have intention, you need to have purpose, and he also needs to have one. He needs to have purpose in his life, and he needs to lead you intentionally. Not, oh, let's go here, oh, let's go to the park, let's walk around the park because I want to get to know you, and this third or fourth day, let's go for a coffee, let's do Netflix and chill. Like everything that he will do, he needs to really bring his A game, because if he's not bringing his A game right now in the dating stage, how do you want him to lead your life? And something that I talked about a lot on this channel already in the past few videos that I made, do rotational dating. Girl, please do it. When you date someone and you just close yourself on that one person, your judgment is not very clear. First of all, you don't go through all the great experience that rotational dating can give you. Second of all, a lot of the times men will do it. They will date different women without telling you. A lot of them will get mad on you when you date several men. They're like, oh, how can you do that? It's impossible. That's exactly what they do. He has profile on Tinder. Don't tell me that you're the only person that he messaged and you're the only person that he dates, because that's a bit impossible, okay? He was probably texting quite a few people, matching with different people, and see where it sticks, okay? and you should do the same. The problem that we have with that, and I think that's why a lot of people get mad, is when you cross that boundary. So when you're saying you're dating somebody, yet you are kissing, you are going to the next step, you ending up in bed, you're holding their hands. Like, I never like that, okay? When I go on dates and people try to hold my hand, I'm like, whoa, it just didn't feel comfortable, because I don't know you, okay? This is literally few dates that we have, and I'm not ready to hold your hands. Like, you didn't show me anything so far. You didn't show me that I can trust you. Why would you hold my hand? So that's where we go wrong. We feel like we need to date, and then on the third day we're gonna end up in bed. And yes, in this case, when you say, oh, I date multiple people, they feel like, oh my god, so you just sleep with everybody, or you just hold everybody's hands. And I get it, okay? That's why you need to be very clear about what you want. And if he's pushing you to do something that you don't want, you just say, like, I'm sorry, I'm not available for that. And it's tough to have this I think it's tough to have this skin, you know, this hard, tough skin, because nobody wants to feel rejected. You just feel like if you're not gonna give him what you want, he's gonna reject you, and nobody likes that. But that's not true. If he rejects you because you didn't want to hold his hand, or because you didn't want to give him something else that he wanted, then wow, thank you for that, okay? Thank you, sir, for doing that for us. Thank you for doing this, because that's how you know he's not for you. Love you so much. I hope that was useful. Let me know what you want to hear about. You know, I have a lot of good dating tips, and a bit more insightful, if you like, but I think they're so important that I wanted to talk about it. So I hope you're gonna have an amazing day, and see you soon. Bye bye.